Happy New Year, everyone. You're about to get the greatest history lesson of all time, so go get some fucking Angry Birds fruit snacks ready. One day in the ocean, I swam through some drainage pipes to reach Jeloi's cell in North Korea, and he told me,
"You will never be in Cartoon Network's Steven Universe Season 1 Episode 18 Beach Party on April 30th, 2014.
So I said, fuck you, Jello-y. Now that you've dared to challenge my one puffy boyness, I'm going to prove that I will be in the Cartoon Network Steven Universe Season 1 Episode 18 Beach Party on April 30th, 2014. The journey now begins as I head over to Warner Brothers and tell them personally, put me in the Cartoon Network Steven Universe Season 1 Episode 18 Beach Party on April 30th, 2014. And so development started on this magnum opus. When this episode releases to the public, all world problems will be solved. Everything will be okay because I am here to be silly and funny. But then, a roadblock appeared. How do we make this cameo without being annoying about it? Well, it's simple. Remove my hat! I unfortunately had to do this episode naked, but it was worth it as to make the reference more subtle. Another question. Why am I pink and green? Well, someone might have thought I would backstab the team by suing them, so if I didn't look like myself at all, I wouldn't be able to get any money back if this experience was a failure. My least favorite part of development was the part when they animated me dying. I became depressed later that day, but then the funny gods reminded me, Nick, you are too based to reenact Plankton got served. You need to get back out there and be wacky. When the episode finally aired, though, no one caught on to the reference at all. Because of my failure, I sued Cartoon Network and unfortunately lost. It was over, but it was probably for the better. Because little did I know I was being indoctrinated into Democratic propaganda. Do they have any idea how worthless human rights are? The reason there's no direct meaning to life is because everything is worthless. I will not stand for this grooming agenda, and I propose we send Rebecca Sugar to the electric chair. Who's with me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Man, I can't wait for Super Mario Odyssey to release. What is this? If you've been using the internet in the past few years, I'd say like maybe 6 or 7, you've probably stumbled upon a video just like this and many others. But where did it come from? Where did it start? I don't know, I'm not that dedicated to research yet. These videos consist of modding Mario games to do stuff like replace the models, add power-ups everywhere, change the size of objects, you know, the usual. Not! First thing I'd like to mention, these mods barely change anything about the game said person is playing. The most I've seen so far is just a bunch of blocks at the start so Mario can collect 999 scented condoms in New Super Mario Bros. Wii or something. But it's not just that. These videos are boring. All they do is play the game, and that's it, nothing else. They don't explain how the modding works, they don't show any comparisons between the changes they made. They don't even talk in these videos. It's just raw footage of a slightly different Mario game. And on top of that, the gameplay itself is bad. They're probably doing it on purpose, but these guys don't know how to play games at all. And some of these are so long too, some go on for like 50 minutes, and most of that time is spent badly playing the rest of the unchanged level very slowly. So basically it's a content farm. In fact, why don't I just react to one of these? Also, this is the first time I've recorded something off of Mobizen with my headphones plugged in. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm here checking out Can Mario Fight All Bosses at Once in Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I've never seen this before. I'm specifically choosing this video to watch because it seems like it's gonna be one of the better ones, which isn't saying much, but, you know, it's worth a shot, I think. Get rid of... No. I bet he's not gonna skip the intro. I'm watching this whole thing. I'm not gonna skip any of it. Just for you guys. Jello-y. A minute in already. Okay, there are trees in the map. There's also a door. What is the point of a door in the... Oh no. Oh no. Now we really gotta hurry up. Let's see what happens. 100, 1,000 okay. Gotta make sure to walk very slowly. Oh. Okay, here he is. There's the snack. I don't know what to say. Oh, oh, it's an ad. Download going balls. Get the goofy little... No, get the... God damn it! Oh, is he dead? No, he's not. Finally, that guy is gone. Nice, this guy got the goofy little guy. Okay, Mario did it. How will he get out of this predicament? Is this it? Does it just end here? Is that it? Is that the end of the video? So he just... Okay, that's it. And he didn't bother taking that thing. So now that you've kinda seen one of these videos in the flesh, I think you have a very clear idea of... I think you can get a firm grasp of the way that... Okay, now, who are these videos for? My first guess is kids. However, these videos are boring, and I think everyone can agree that kids don't like being bored. So then are these videos for adults? Probably not, because no grown-ass man is gonna watch this over Cat McFly. So then why are these videos so successful? I don't know. And yeah, that's kinda it, just a short little documentary, I guess, simply because I've never seen anyone talk about these before, and I don't know why. If these aren't mentioned in the Mario movie, I swear to God. Finally, something I'm not complaining about. Portal is a puzzle platform game developed and published by Valve on October 10th, 2007. Look, it says so on Wikipedia. Flash forward to about 15 years later, and I decided to finally play it while waiting for a certain other game to release. You know, despite being so iconic, I actually hadn't heard much about Portal before playing it. I knew some people liked it, that's about it. And I probably wouldn't have known about the gameplay yet either if I hadn't already played the parody in a Goat Simulator. But all that matters is that now I have played the game, and now I'm going to review it because I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe I'll do that one. In this game, you go through puzzle chambers with a portal gun. Whoa! This is your main tool you use for the puzzles, but that doesn't mean it's the only thing to mess around with. There are these things that shoot weird energy balls, there are platforms that move really slowly, there are cows, there are cubes you gotta put on buttons, there are turrets you can drop off the edge. It's all very simple, but it works well. I honestly wish I had more to say about the gameplay, but it's pretty basic for the most part. Not bad, it's just not amazing, you know. Except the portals, of course. That shit was so not boring. I think we can all agree that it's almost impossible to make portals boring, so. Honestly, the only part I didn't like as much was the big evil boss at the end. Maybe it's because I was playing this on the Nintendo Sandwich, where apparently this boss fight is really broken, so maybe it's better on PC. I don't have a computer, so I wouldn't know for sure. Even then though, I feel like the actual boss wasn't designed very well. It took me like 4 or 5 minutes to actually figure out what I had to do, and by that point the boss was almost over. But I did it. I figured out what I had to do, and I finished the game, and it was actually pretty good.
A story.
So it's something about this in-universe company called Aperture Science running these experiments on people, and how things are always going wrong or something. I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to talk about the story because I'm kind of fucking dumb and... Oh yeah, I forgot I can look elsewhere. I have no idea what's going on. I've never played Half-Life or any of those other games, so I'm very much lost on what's going on in the lore. I think one of the best things this game does is the atmosphere, thanks to the sound design. The ambience, this little radio, these turrets, this scope. But wait a minute, you play as a woman? Hello there, I don't have a computer, so I'm recording like this.
You see, I meant to kill that elf. He's ugly.
Yeah, we're just right into it. Look at this, look at, they got Knuckles.
Is it even called Uganda Knuckles or just Knuckles?
No, it's just called Knuckles. Love that the controls show up for 2 seconds. Yeah. Oh, I can change my name!
I wonder if it has moderation. It probably doesn't. PDF file. Oh shit!
Whoa! 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 Steering is way too sensitive. You'd think they would.
An option for that?
No, there isn't.
We're so good at this game.
Almost done. Come on. And yeah.
We should do competitive Maxwell skate drifting game simulator.
Maybe we should. Okay.
I guess that's it.
Hey guys, DJ Steph here. Today, I'm going to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's with my balls, guys. Warning. Spoilers. Five Nights at Freddy's started as a horror game by Scott Cawthon, which became a massive success in no time thanks to YouTubers. You sit in an office and simply have to stop killer animatronics from yelling at you. I'm not gonna go into story details because it's a huge mess nowadays, but I'll try my best to go over the basics. This guy named William Afton created the place with the purpose of luring children in order to murder them. The animatronics were then haunted by the kids due to him stuffing their bodies inside them, and when they come back for revenge, he tries to hide in a spring-lock suit, which was designed to hold back animatronic parts in order for a person to wear it, but it malfunctions and he dies. At least those are the basics of the first 3 games. After that, the story kept getting more and more complicated for what feels like an obligation to just have deep lore for the sake of it. And William Afton always comes back. Anyway, this movie has been in development hell for about 8 years. It was originally supposed to be made by Warner Brothers, but then it switched to Universal and Blumhouse. Directors kept changing. The first draft of the script was scrapped, a bunch of stuff leading to a lot of delays, but they finished it. I didn't really have any strong expectations going into this. Fnaf was never really that good of a franchise, especially since Scott Cawthon made most of the games on his own, and it also doesn't help that I'm not nearly as into Fnaf as I was back in the early days. There was also a lot of dumb drama as the movie was getting really close to release. Okay, movie time. Once again, there will be spoilers. Mike Schmidt is trying to take care of his sister Abby after their parents died, except he calls her Abs because he's part of the cool kids club. And so out of desperation, he gets the job at Freddy Fnaf Bear's Pizza. Throughout the movie, he starts having dreams about the time his brother Garrett got kidnapped. He then meets a white woman jump scare who knows quite a bit about the place because she's the daughter of the owner William Afton, or should I say Steve Raglan. Steve Raglan is William Afton, and he was trying to kill Abby Ruh-roh. Then they convince the animatronics to turn against him and he dies. Zoinks? I guess I'll start by saying that it wasn't really that scary. Fnaf has always been a little weak with its scares, and this movie is more so the same. Some people said it would have helped if the movie was R-rated because, I guess, blood equals scary, but it was a little underwhelming. There is gore and violence shown, but it's either obscured or generally mild. There were a few decent spooks, though. Let's see, William Afton is barely in the movie. I don't think you would have expected Steve Raglan as the villain if you didn't look at the cast. At first I was gonna say there wasn't enough to suggest he might be the villain, but then I remembered the scene of him giving that backstory and some other info on the job, plus the tape. I feel like they did him a little dirty though, especially since he's the main villain of one of the biggest indie franchises ever. What else is there? At first I thought White Woman Jump Scare was going to be involved with William's schemes, and I was sort of wrong. She mainly drops backstory details on the Faz killings, although I guess it's not exactly an exposition dump, I think, since she's William's daughter and she's a cop. Mike wants to make sure he doesn't lose custody of Abby to his Aunt Jane, who is mean and smells like cigarettes, and she wants Abby so she can get money from the government. You freaking socialist. I mean, she does set up a plan to sabotage Mike's whole thing he's got going on, so, you know. I do think Mike has the best arc in the movie, but it's still just, shit's not bad. I gotta say, I'm really glad the story's back to being more simple this time. There are a few hoops that make it a little hard to explain, but I'm glad we're starting fresh with the movie. And I think if they make this a trilogy, then I hope they stick with having it tell its own story and not do it like the books. If there's one thing FNAF has always been great at though, it's theming and atmosphere, and this movie is no exception. Look, they made a dog animatronic and never used it. I know it's a reference to a hoax, but I think that shows how dedicated this franchise is to its strong suit. And thus, I give this movie a slightly above mediocre out of 10. Alright, my next proper movie review is done, and hopefully it's better than my Freebirds review. I feel like I came off as a little harsh against Freebirds, but you really don't have to see it. You're not missing anything. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!